Hey guys, what's going on? It's Salvage here, and today we're going to be talking about Batman Arkham and the hottest takes that you guys had. Now, I posted a little community post asking you guys what are the hottest takes that you guys have, and here are some of them. If you want to give your guys' opinions or like your hot takes, you can go to the community post. It'll be in the link in the description below, and go ahead and give your thoughts. I'm going to be doing this maybe like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, so go ahead and go check that out, and also give a like on this video as well. Let's try to get to at least 500 likes. You guys have been killing it, and I've been trying to post as much as possible, so let's go ahead and keep that ball rolling. So the first hot take, and I think this one's the hottest take of them all, honestly, in my opinion, is that the Batman Beyond suit in Arkham Knight is better than the one in Arkham City. And man, Grant Bricker, bro, you hit my challenge like perfectly. I wanted a hot take. You gave me the hottest shit that you can find. Honestly, that is... Do you guys believe that? I mean, I personally just cannot like opinionate that into like words. I don't know what to say about that because that's just not true at all. The Arkham Knight suit for the Batman Beyond skin it's bulky. It's trying too hard to be realistic. It's trying too hard to be its own thing, and that's what's ruining it. You know, it's trying too hard. And I think that the Arkham City suit, the fact that it looks that fucking great, it just looks good. You know, it just really looks good. At least even in game, in motion too, it just looks phenomenal. The way the cape flips out when you like jump up, the way everything just looks, the way it flows throughout the gameplay, I love it. But compared to the Arkham Knight one, good gracious, the Arkham Knight one, whew, that is a hot take right there. I love it. The next one is Straight Edge Punk. He says, while Batman was a great character in the games, the Bruce Wayne character was severely underdeveloped. We barely know anything about Bruce in the games aside from the origin story. We needed to see his connection and relationship with the other characters like Alfred, Selina, Lucius Fox, etc. I kind of agree with that hot take in many ways. He is underdeveloped. Like, they try to say that him and Vicky Vale have like a relationship in Arkham Knight, which is just... that came out of nowhere. So I personally, think that, yeah, they probably could have worked out Bruce's character just a tad bit better and actually established more of his relationships with, like, Selina and whatnot, or, like, Lucius Fox and maybe even Alfred. Even the Bat family, too, have them just meet up outside of the suits. Like, that would have been actually very interesting to see, but it seems like they didn't really have Bruce on the forefront, or at least they didn't have him in the ideas of what they were doing. And it kind of makes sense because, of course, all the games take place in one night, so like they couldn't really do that if they wanted to. I would think Arkham Origins is the only one that really gives Bruce some type of development, especially with Alfred. I think that's the only game where you actually interact with Alfred physically. So, I think that that's a very interesting one as well. And I think personally, they definitely could have done a lot more with Bruce's character. The next one is from Joe Santos. And he says, Mad Hatter had the most unique and enjoyable side missions in the whole series. Honestly, yeah, no, that's actually kind of true. Like, I'm trying to think about all the other side missions, and besides maybe Deadshot, like, that one was fun to, like, do, just, like, to investigate his whole missions in Arkham City, and, man, it's actually kind of hard to tell, but, like, yeah, Mad Hatter definitely had some of the best ones in the entire series. Like, from Arkham City, he had one of the most confusing ones when you, like, inject yourself with, like, the cure, but it actually passes you out. That one was weird. And then, of course, in Arkham Knight, in Arkham Origins, he had one too. That was kind of like Scarecrowish, but it was still like, Mad Hatter in his own little world and whatnot. I liked it. I think there was definitely some very crazy, confusing, mind-bending stuff in that one too. Might have been even better than some of the Scarecrow missions in Arkham Asylum. And also you have the Arkham Knight one, which I don't think is that good, but it was still really fun to kind of like go through the whole nostalgic book of like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and whatnot. That was really cool. And yeah, he definitely had some of the most creative side missions throughout the entire series compared to any other character. So I completely agree with that hot take over there. The Mr. Freeze fight in Arkham City is overrated. Fighting Deathstroke in Arkham Origins is way better. I don't think I agree with that at all. No. Mr. Freeze, there was like some level of not only fear there for Batman because he actually like didn't think that he might be able to take this guy, but also the strategy between Batman, and the player, having Batman at least, or having a player be able to control Batman and let him strategize throughout the entire fight what to do to Mr. Freeze and finding new ways to actually beat the character or beat the boss battle, it was so much better. Fighting Deathstroke was basically like fighting Ra's al Ghul, but like a little bit more repetitive. Like he does a little slash thing with the sword more. That's about it. Maybe they actually do it the same exact like way, but I don't know. All I'm saying is that there are elements from Arkham City that they stripped for the Deathstroke battle, and it's not as original or I wouldn't say as like, you know, well made as what people are saying, but it definitely is not better than Mr. Freeze, that's for sure. It's the best one in Arkham Origins, but it's not the best one in the Arkham series, in my opinion. So yeah, that is a hot take, especially when I disagree with it. You know it's a hot take. The next one, I can't even fucking count how many times somebody has said this, but at least this guy had reasonings and points behind it. Origins is the best Arkham game of all. And he's, you know, has a bunch of reasons why, you know, short, concise, and effective. Saying that the actors are very great, especially Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker, you know, being better in the younger department. And the movie cutscenes are pure artwork. You know, stuff like that. I kind of like, I see his reasoning behind that. You know, if you are a big fan of Arkham Origins and that's like one of your cult games that you think is better than all of the other ones, it might be a hot take that is the best one, but it's your opinion and, you know, you actually have your legitimate reasons behind it. Everybody that I've seen in those fucking that post was like, Origins is the best, Origins is the best. Why is it the best? Why is it the best? You know, I can see people actually putting up saying Roger Craig Smith is better than, you know, Kevin Conroy. That's a good hot take. And saying that Troy Baker might be better than Mark Hamill. That's a hot take that might not be true, but, you know, there's some argument that can be made there. And I genuinely like when people give their little ideas and type of reasonings behind their ideas as well. Not having Nightwing and Robin as playable characters or spin-off game in the Arkham universe was dumb. I completely agree. The fact that they didn't focus on the Bat family in general was a very, very stupid idea. I don't think they needed spin-off games per se, but I do think that they needed to be playable, roamable characters with like their own little side stories. And it seemed like there was like no reason not to do that. It kind of just seemed like they were kind of lazy and just didn't want to put in the work of actually putting in Nightwing and Robin and all those other characters into, you know, the game and putting them into the world and, you know, crafting their own universe and whatnot. They had multiple opportunities to do that, and I personally wish they did. And the next one says, gliding is unrealistic and kind of annoying. Batman in the comics doesn't just glide everywhere. He does parkour, too. There is a cool section where you chase the ninja in Arkham City. That's technically parkour. And, I mean, gliding is unrealistic. Do you know what game we're playing? This isn't like Modern Warfare. Like, this is a game where you fight a clay monster and a fucking clown. I don't really think realism needs to apply to this game whatsoever. So, while that's a hot take, that's a little bit of a goofy take as well. I like it, though. Arkham Knight's plot is overhated. It's not great, but it's still well written. Oh, well, you had the hot take there. It's still well written. No. I wouldn't say it's well written. I would say definitely it's overhated. Like the plot, definitely overhated. Jason Todd, overhated. Overall, the tank battles, overhated. But it's not well written. That's for sure. There are many elements that could have been much, much better. Like things that just could have been so much more cohesive. And things that just could have made a lot more sense if it was written by people that were better writers. You know what I mean? And I guess I'll end it here because I don't even know how long I've been doing this, but it's very fun. Origins would be a much better game if it wasn't an Arkham game. Origins has a good plot, and it's a great Batman/Joker origin story. I actually prefer it to The Man Who Laughs in that respect. It has phenomenal score, but there are so many glaring continuity mistakes, and all of the references to the Knight feel so forced. I agree. That is honestly a very, very good take. A lot of people think that it's like, oh, it's a great Arkham game, fits the continuity. It doesn't fit the continuity, and honestly, it would have been a lot better if it was outside of the continuity of the Arkhamverse. Like, imagine if this was like if Origins, Arkham Origins, was a prequel game to Gotham Knights. that would have been a fucking banger right there. Like, you already had this well-established Batman. Like, maybe that can be the branch off. I don't know. I'm not saying that they should make Arkham Origins a part of the Gotham Knights universe. I'm just saying that it definitely would have worked a lot better if they tried to beforehand think about what they were doing in the future. But, Arkham Origins definitely would have been much, much better off without having the Arkham name attached to it. And yeah, that's basically it. I want to know your guys' thoughts, your opinions on this series. It's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to kind of go through it and just have as much fun kind of critiquing everybody's hot takes as much as possible. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.